August 10th, 2021, I watched a piece, Mike Waldron, I'm sorry, not Mike Waldron, something Waldron, important. He was dressed all in black. It was truth for me, dead center. Then Lindell got on and it went to the side. It went off its accuracy. He said words like journalism and media, and he lost me. It became like a mental worm. I don't like it. So I walked up with my umbrella. I know Frank saw me in the neighborhood. Didn't speak to him though, just saw the umbrella and turned around. I went up, I spoke to Mateo. Mateo has or Matthew, he has he's almost been following, like, he's got an interesting dynamic. From what I can assess, he's been following the headliners, but he's well above accuracy and astuteness. He's not he's infected slightly, but he's able to keep categorically tallies, and then he's able to translucently rearrange his tally marks of buckets of who he holds responsible to thread theorists together, which is an interesting quality I don't see much in humans, which I greatly appreciate. But again, I keep him at a distance because I can't play favorito in this nothingness I'm walking in. Governor Cuomo apparently took a helicopter ride into New York City to make an announcement, and then he went out. He's got, by the way, the color eyes that I have on one camera. I have a cloud over, it's like a blinding haze. It's a gas, which is what makes me incredibly different than he.
11 women amid the criminal investigation that has now unfolded into at least one of those allegations, and 5 district attorneys also now looking into the findings from the AG's report. The governor made the announcement here in New York City. He has since departed the city and is now on a helicopter back to Albany. Dave Evans, he was at the governor's announcement outside the governor's office in downtown
Dave
New York City. David
Evans.
I think a lot of people this afternoon, when we heard that the governor was going to speak publicly, did not expect.
Don't know him and I haven't met him.
Resignation, especially when we heard his speech at the get-go. He did not sound like a person who was giving up office.
Well, I think the way that he did resign was somewhat surprising to many of us, but as I've said a couple of times earlier, this was classic Governor Cuomo apologizing if people were offended, taking no responsibility for some of these more serious allegations, in fact saying that he did not do them, and then talking about all the good things that he accomplished during his 10 years in office. There has been a question in this last hour or hour and a half of our coverage as to whether this has been a generational switch and whether Governor Cuomo just got caught up in the Me Too movement and was not aware that the landscape had changed so dramatically and that his conduct, which may have been permissible 20 or 30 years ago, is not today. And
You mean that we got pulled off course because of somebody's less than honest and important agenda, and now you're all trying to course correct, but like failing forward really horribly until someone tries to filter it back into something of semblance for you all? Kind of what it feels like.
that kind of conduct is not acceptable. It is certainly not acceptable.
This is human. I don't listen to it. It means absolutely nothing in the real world.
And there is a difference.
But I will say that I found him to be, Linda and I listened to him from another room without watching, and I feel that he was actually genuine and honest in the portion
that there are not 11 women
that,
who I truly
whatever,
defended.
this part.
There are. And for that, I deeply, deeply apologize. I thought a hug and putting my arm around
See,
a staff person.
the
while
face,
taking a
though,
picture with
when I watch the face and I watch what he was told it meant and what it actually meant, there's like, I'm doing this, but I don't really fucking believe what they fucking told me it means and whatever. But when you just listen and you don't watch, you actually hear the sincerity of whoever whoever he might have offended, who actually may have whatever and whatever.
was friendly, but she found it to be too forward. I kissed a woman on the cheek at a wedding,
Yeah.
and I thought I was being nice.
Again, I don't need details. I think this is craziness, what you humans do. I mean, taking responsibility is one thing, but we're like way
I
past.
just did.
Difference between just calling someone.
This is like all the spears that lost their points,
Why is that? Why
and
would
now we're like a
someone
broccoli
think that
spear
that
floret,
behavior
and
in
they're
a
like,
professional
whatever.
office scenario is acceptable?
I don't want to hear you, for sure. Nor you.
What was his position? Did he have any choice but to resign? And what happens now? I don't know if you heard Assemblyman Ron Kim interview.
Oh, they just talk too much.
The drama of having us drag out for another couple of months.
I mean, I can't just sit here and watch this whole entire thing. Like, no, I mean, it's the same thing over and over and over again.
Transition between
Story I just about
You lose your potency with so many words.
To do in 14 days, or
There was something important. I can't find it now.
similarity they had was
Hold on,
this
I'm gonna
hard
pause this for a
charging
second.
The greatest goal is for them to have a better future than the generations of women before them. It is still in many ways a man's world. It always has been. We have sexism that is culturalized and institutionalized. My daughters have more talent and natural gifts than I ever had. I want to make sure that society allows them to fly as high as their wings will carry them. There should be no assumptions, no stereotypes, no limitations. I want them to know from the bottom of my heart that I never did and I never would intentionally disrespect a woman or treat any woman differently than I would want them treated. And that is the God's honest truth. Your dad made mistakes, and he apologized, and he learned from it. And that's what life is all about. And I know the political process is flawed, and I understand there's cynicism and distrust and disappointment now. But don't give it up, because government is still the best vehicle for making positive social change.
Tragic and ironic, because Governor Cuomo developed a national reputation as a champion of women's rights. So, again, very difficult moment for him, but let's not lose sight of the difficult moments that the victims have had the last several months, and even in some cases years.
Star 1978, star 8 through 78, Nicole Cattaruzza.